Hey you, it's me. And oh my goodness, girl world is exploding. Um, I'm trying to collect my thoughts because there's so many different things I want to say. The first off, with Amber, I guess she has been vindicated. Apparently, somebody called the courthouse and cleared Mama Lynn of the charges of hurting an animal. That didn't happen. She did beat up her mother, Amber's grandmother. But regardless of that, you know, people sometimes do bad things. And she was a drug addict. And honestly, to me, she served her time. Let's move on. I don't really care. But I just found it so interesting that other YouTubers are apologizing for pushing this and hurting Amber and her family, her and her mother. And I mean, it's good that they're apologizing at least. That's a lot more than what Amber would do, let's be honest. But I don't know why people are taking a run again. I don't understand why they're picking on Mama Lynn to begin with. She hasn't done anything to us as viewers. She's had a checkered past, and she's currently been sober, I think Amber said, for like 10 years or almost 10 years. And why don't we just leave it at that? Why did we need to go back through charges and things? I heard that Jordy was the one who did that. Honestly, I don't think he did anything wrong because it is public record. I just don't know why he would need to bring it up in the first place, or why anybody would need to bring it up in the first place. Like I said, things happen. Sometimes people do bad stuff. She paid for her crime. She seems to be doing better. We haven't seen her do anything that would refute that. So just leave her alone, you know. When it comes to Amber, she's the one who puts everything out there. And she's the one who needs to take accountability. Her mother already did. Amber's the one who needs to take accountability now, and who knows if she ever will. But that's what I have to say on that. At least I'm glad that even though people ran with the story and the idea, they're apologizing for getting it wrong, and I respect that. That's good. The other thing that has really caught me is all this stuff coming out about FFG. And I thought it was funny. I was watching Angry Pistachio, and she's talking about all these tweets and things that have been coming in, saying a lot of crazy stuff about FFG, and her saying that it makes sense, things make sense now. She didn't say that they were true. It's alleged because we don't know who the tweets are from. But she talked about it a lot like it was, real, and that it made sense. And I don't know. I don't go on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. So I guess I miss out on a lot of stuff like this. But it's one thing to report and say, hey, somebody who is allegedly claiming to be FFG's brother is saying all these things. And I guess technically she said that, but I still felt like she was pushing it like it's more real than not real. And that could be. But it's still all alleged. It could be just fodder. It could be nothing. FFG has actually been proven to embellish things, to not tell the truth about some things. This includes the report about BBJ. Some of the things she said that was wrong with BBJ weren't actually in the report, as read by somebody who actually speaks and reads French. So I believe she embellished a little bit. And like I said, the reason why I stopped watching her was because she laughed and said, "My brother doesn't have BBJ," or "That wasn't my brother." I forget what she said now, but that in itself made everything she's ever said suspicious. Now there's claims that allegedly that the brother isn't even married, that she's the one who had the cat, or it was her brother who had the cat, or it could have been her father or mother who had the cat. And of course, the mother passed away, unfortunately, which is sad. That's sad. Um, but now there's rumors that the father actually lives in Greece, that he's not even here, and there's just so many things going on. Allegedly this, allegedly that. And we need to keep in mind they're all alleged. Nothing has been proven, except for out of her own mouth when she said a lie and then said another lie that counteracted it. I just think the reason why I stopped watching her is I just thought she was mean. But if any or all or some of these alleged things are true, then it's just sad that she didn't really grow up with her dad, or did she? That her brother is an alleged drug dealer who has borderline personality disorder and never got married and broke up with his girlfriend years ago, so the cat never went to them. And the big thing is with Pistachio anyway, is that FFG doesn't have a boyfriend. Honestly, I don't care if she has a boyfriend or not, but I don't know why she would make that up. Maybe she did. Maybe it makes her feel good to make it up, or maybe she actually has a boyfriend. I don't know. Those are little things that I don't really care about. I don't like being lied to, and I think a lot of people share that. But if any or part or all of these things, like I said, if they're true, that everything she's been telling are lies, her life has been a lie, no boyfriend, her family is nothing like she described, her brother dislikes her, I mean, on and on and on. Honestly, that's just sad. If any of that is true, then she's probably lying because her life is so sad and so messed up that she wants to feel good instead of feeling bad. And honestly, that really is just sad. The other thing that bothers me a little bit is Angry Pistachio, telling everybody that anyone who follows FFG is a stupid idiot. Don't they understand? Don't they know? Why aren't their eyes open? Well, I was a fan of FFG for a while. I just thought she told the truth. And she does have a fun personality. But as I said, as time went on, I started liking her less and less, and she just seemed very mean, and I didn't want to watch her anymore. But that doesn't make me stupid. It makes me maybe ill-informed. I didn't know who she was until I watched her. For a while, I liked her, and then I stopped liking her, and I stopped watching. That doesn't make me an idiot or stupid. I really hate that she says, Pistachio says that so often. And Gamey Ground says that too. Well, sometimes people are easily fooled, sometimes not. They apparently knew from the beginning that she was a big-time liar, grifter, whatever. I didn't get that vibe for a while, at least. As time went on, I started questioning things, and that's when I stopped watching, like I said. Sorry, that's my neighbor. If you can hear that, I don't know. But again, if this stuff is real, I just feel bad for her. Because that sounds crappy, that she had a really crappy childhood and a really crappy family life. I identify with that. I'm sure a lot of people can. And that just makes me feel bad for her. And I'm sorry that she had to go through that. And I'm sorry that she feels like she has to lie to make herself feel better. I would much rather know the truth. And, maybe I could empathize with her or sympathize with her and, root her on when things get better and give my condolences when things aren't better. That human thing. People are so detached from that human thing. Like right now, I'm getting extremely angry because there's a bunch of kids running around and screaming outside my door, and it keeps distracting me. And it's frustrating. But yeah, I just feel like people are not realizing that Amber, she's a frustrating person. I don't think she's a very good person, but she is still a human being. So is her mother. So is FFG. All these people are people. And I give sympathy to having a rough childhood and a rough upbringing. And I give sympathy to somebody who feels the need to lie in order to feel okay. It's sad. And if any of those things are true, I'm deeply sorry that she had to go through that. FFG, I mean. And being mean and nasty to Chantal is not going to make up for that. It just isn't. And even with Chantal, I've kind of softened on Chantal as well, because I've realized watching her that she also is going through a lot. And she's not a very good person. But I think a lot of that is because of what she went through as a child. Child abuse, people say, oh, well, you're not a child, you're an adult now. She's 40 years old. That's not a good excuse. She's not using it as an excuse, but you know what? It is a good reason. If you're abused as a child, you do what you can to figure out how to cope with it. And sometimes they're not good ways, but they're the only ways that you can think of, which is why sometimes therapy is really good, because it can help you find new ways that are maybe more positive. But these people are just really hurt, suffering people, Amber included. They're all suffering in a lot of ways, and they're coping the best they can. I guess the hard part is when you see someone like Amber or Chantal, and they get really like snotty and arrogant, and you're just like, oh God, how do I feel sorry for somebody who's just so awful? FFG, she's kind of like that in some ways too. Not as arrogant. I think she's a lot more realistic about herself and at least the alleged lies. I think she's a little more self-aware. But man, girl world is a mess. But I think the thing that we need, the takeaway, a good takeaway from this, is not to just run with a story because you think it's fun and interesting or laughable. It's okay, I think, to speculate. You see things that are happening, you see something in a video and you go, maybe this, maybe that. But to talk about things as facts. This is something that Angry Pistachio did tonight, or at least tonight is when I watched her latest video. That's what she seemed to be doing tonight, even though she said she wasn't. And that's the exact reason why she complains, her and Gigi complain about Sam and Yaba, is because they take rumors and make them sound like facts. And, that's why I don't listen to them anymore. So I hope Angry Pistachio and Gigi don't do that. They seem to be far more focused on the truth than on lies. But when something is alleged, you know, keep reminding us it's alleged, it's not fact. Because otherwise, it just gets messy. And a little mess based on fact is fine, but a big mess based on alleged allegations is just not fair. It's just not fair. Anyway, that's all I gotta say.